Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, coming up in really not all that long, we've got Black Ops 7, the next Call of Duty title that's dropping presumably late October, early November. We don't have a full release date. I imagine we'll get that here in the coming weeks, potentially with the Gamescom worldwide reveal that's going to be taking place, right? But with Black Ops 7, there's been a lot of mixed reception on this game already, and we've seen minimal amounts of it. We obviously have some leaks from like some menu screenshots and whatnot. We got the original teaser trailer showing off some story stuff, very minuscule bits of gameplay from the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. But there are a lot of concerning things with Black Ops 7. I'll always be someone who roots for games to do well regardless of what they are. Just how I'm wired, I can't root for a game to fail. I want video games to be good for their target audience, whether that is 100 people, 100,000 people, a million people, whatever it is, right? Like, I want the game to be good. But also, from an objective standpoint, Black Ops 7 is in a very unique position, and maybe it's not the best position either. Today, I wanted to break down some larger concerns, some larger red flags that I think have already been raised for Black Ops 7 to sort of detail these. And obviously we have this to look back on then once the game comes out, and it's like, okay, game's been out for a month, we know how it's playing, how it's feeling. If we look back to what we were worried about, were we just over exaggerating things, were we spot on? Time is going to tell here. But first up, I think the most obvious thing to be concerned with Black Ops 7 is the dev time and the whole situation regarding that. Treyarch now having a second game to develop and release for the second year in a row. They just did Black Ops 6. It had a 4-year dev time. All these various reports from insider information say that Black Ops 7 was also in development at the same time. So they've sort of been co-developing Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 together this entire time, which means Black Ops 6 launched, it was at that 4-year mark. When Black Ops 7 launches, it's going to be at that 5-year mark. Now, that could be great. That could allow them plenty of time to fully perfect things, fully polish things. But how much of the focus, especially in the last year, has been on Black Ops 6 and maintaining things there? Like, we have absolutely zero idea, and we'll probably never gain access to this information unless the dev steps out and actually says something, on record about the development process here. But we'll never know how much, percentage of time was dedicated to Black Ops 6 versus Black Ops 7 from 4 years ago, from 3 years ago, from this past year. That's information that just won't ever be public, but it's certainly something you have to ask about. Is Black Ops 7 the full focus this entire time, and that's why Black Ops 6 has been so problematic post-launch? Is that why we see, somewhat underwhelming content going on in Black Ops 6 throughout a lot of the seasons so far, even though it had way more dev time than, say, an MW3, which had far more content? So the situation of having to make 2 games back-to-back, regardless of if you had a lot of time beforehand, is incredibly unique. It's never happened before for Call of Duty, and it presents some very good opportunities. Treyarch could absolutely change things up for Black Ops 7 in response to direct feedback they're getting right now with Black Ops 6. It also might not leave them with enough time because they've had to split their focus the entire time with Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. Again, this is one that obviously time will tell. We'll see how the game launches. Is it polished? Is it complete? Does it feel like it had all this time to be worked on? Or does it feel like it was somewhat rushed because half of their focus was also on an entirely different game, its predecessor, right? So that, I think, is the more obvious one here. It's concerning that we're in this first ever situation where a studio is making 2 Call of Duty games in a row. By the way, as we're going through all these concerns, you guys know I try to keep it a buck here. Every single day we're covering COD, the good, the bad, everything in between. If anything's going on, it'll be covered here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date with everything. And if you enjoyed this video, you want to shine more light on these topics, a like rating is a fantastic way to do so, and I really do appreciate it. Now, another big concern, and I think this is more of a global one as well. There will subjectively be people who love Black Ops 7. There will subjectively be people who hate Black Ops 7, right? And they all might be correct in their own, POV there. But a universal sort of take here is that the cheating situation in Call of Duty is absolutely awful. It's downright embarrassing for the franchise. And Black Ops 7 being a direct sequel to Black Ops 6, likely going to be the same engine, the same setup that we've got going on now as far as the core stuff goes behind the scenes, which probably means, unless of course we see some major surprise shift in their focus on the anti-cheat where they completely overhaul Ricochet, they change to a different anti-cheat, they do something very significant with this, it being on the same engine, it having all the same core mechanics, it's probably not going to make it too hard for cheaters to get into Black Ops 7. And that's been a giant plague on Call of Duty for years and years and years. Even as we've shifted some and seen upgrades to the engine and everything, it's still a massive problem when there's not that many shifts and there's not that many changes. Whereas when you completely overhaul it, yeah, cheaters will eventually still get there, but it delays that process by a decent chunk of time. And if it's a direct sequel, of course, you're probably going to have a lot of connections between Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. And as far as how much is actually going to change with the core design of the game, the core, makeup of the game, I guess, if you will, for lack of better word, that could pose some issues too, just with how easy it could be to be that bad apple in game, if you know what I'm saying there. And sort of on those same lines, how different is Black Ops 7 going to be from Black Ops 6? The whole thing going on right now is, oh, it's going to be DLC yet again. That was the whole concept of MW3, and why that had much less hype going into launch just after MW2 was, oh, this is just an MW2 DLC. Then the game comes out and it's like it's a clearly superior product to MW2 despite having far less dev time, right? But with this, it's the same repeated cycle. Okay, Black Ops 7 is just a Black Ops 6 DLC. It might feel like it might be the case. It also might not. Maybe it's a repeat scenario again where Black Ops 7 just far exceeds what Black Ops 6 has to offer. That's absolutely a possibility, and I hope that's the possibility for sure. But you have these direct sequels. We just saw this with MW2, MW3. The whole concept of carryover, I have to imagine, will likely have some impact on this game. It might be everything. It might just be weapons or just be operators. We're going to have to wait and see. Like, we'll get this information when we get full reveals and announcements in the coming days, weeks, and months. But if they do decide to go through with carryover, it does change the way the game is viewed. I think it changes the way the game is hyped, and it does make it feel less like a brand new product and more like a very, very large and very expensive extension for sure. So the concept of carryover, I know some people like it, some people don't. If it ends up being in the game, that's going to have a large impact on how it's perceived, and if it's not, so will that. So however they go about approaching this is ultimately going to have, very, very strong results in game one way versus the other. And then one last thing that I wanted to bring up here as far as general concerns go, because of the COD HQ, and we all know how lovely this is as a hub for Call of Duty that doesn't really make anything that seamless from our POV at least, it leaks everything. And we've gotten so many details already about Black Ops 7, various different leaks and rumors about gameplay. Obviously those menu images showing up a little bit ago on the message of the day on Xbox, that was kind of crazy, showing off some multiplayer stuff. We've had the reveal obviously as well, detailing a few things here and there, but one thing we really haven't heard anything about whatsoever is the Warzone integration. Like, we've got leaks for the campaign, we've got leaks for multiplayer, we've got leaks for zombies. The Warzone integration, Warzone's still the biggest draw for Call of Duty, so this is probably the most important thing long term for the game. And what we do know about it, based off of rumors right now that have gone around, is that it seems to have shifted heavily. Avalon was originally going to be intended as a battle royale map, but then it was reported some time ago from the Ghost of Hope that that's no longer going to be the case, that Avalon instead will be used for Outbreak and zombies and then part of the open world campaign. We've already got that confirmed through the original reveal trailer as well. The devs did mention that, yes, that's Avalon in the background open world campaign experience that was shown there. But the Warzone integration, they only get so many more chances at this before integrations will not have any hype behind them because they've been so problematic for so long. There's also just the chance that this could be a final integration if they finally decide to go standalone with Modern Warfare 4 when that ends up dropping and we see the sort of revamp to the Call of Duty HQ and engine and everything that we're expecting with that in 2026. But the Warzone integration having so little details out there, even just leaks and rumors from the credible sources, is interesting. That may be by design. Maybe the usual suspects that are leaking information and giving inside information to these sources that we use are told specifically, hey, we're not doing this time. Like, we will find out if you're leaking stuff, there will be repercussions or something like that. Or it's just there's not a whole lot going on with it, and that's also concerning that it could end up being a rushed product as well. We're gonna have to wait and see, as with all of this, but just from the outside looking in right now at Black Ops 7, there is certainly a lot of potential in a lot of different areas for this game. There's also a lot of cause for concern at the same time. So depending on how you want to look at it, glass half full, glass half empty, it's up to you. But I did want to point out a few things, especially mainly for reference here as we get closer to the launch of the game and ultimately the full launch of the game, to see, were we right in being worried about this? Was this an overreaction? What exactly is the case? But that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. That way you can guarantee you're always up to date with all things going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.